Hey everyone, this is Jamie here, back with another video. And today I want to cover a website that I stumbled across that actually gives you open source alternatives to popular software. And this is really interesting because one of the big things I've been really thinking about lately is not only replacing the tools I use that I pay for every month and have been paying for years, but looking for things that are not so popular by the masses that can do the same thing much easier, faster, and better, and are basically best kept secrets. And I'm trying to create videos that cover the simplicity of how you can take a GitHub repo, take an open source software, look at it, review it, understand it, and use it with your projects in your business. So the first thing that I thought about was, okay, I use Claude Code quite a lot. I pay 18 euros a month for their pro plan. I don't pay for a max plan. I pay for other tools like Wispr Flow, which I think are really good. I've also used free open source Wispr Flow like tools before that have differed and were up and down in terms of the way they work, the way they function. But I decided let's take another look here and see what we can find. And this is a shorter video. I wanted to scroll down to the bottom and just show you this real quickly. You can see popular proprietary software. They give you alternatives based on what's popular, but by software and categories for different things. So for example, Wispr Flow has 7 alternatives. Notion has 20 alternatives. I mentioned Notion because I do use Notion for a lot of my things, but I use a free plan, so I don't really use complex things inside of my account. But if you're a big Notion user and you pay for their subscriptions and their AI tools, there's a bunch of alternatives, and you might be able to host it for free and save a lot of money. There's Claude Code alternatives. I might have to go look at this. There's CapCut alternatives. A lot of people like using CapCut for videos. They like using CapCut to edit. I personally still pay for Adobe, and I use it with Premiere, mainly because they have Adobe Podcasts, which does a great job at doing audio compression, editing, and much more. It's how my voice is edited right now. So I pay $33 a month Canadian for that subscription. So it's like $25 American. Let's go look at Wispr Flow alternatives. So it comes to this page, and you can see there's some alternatives here. Examples, there's Handy, cross-platform desktop app that transcribes your voice into any text field using a keyboard shortcut with all processing done locally on your machine. So what does that actually mean? This means that a tool like this, and most of them are like this, instead of paying Wispr Flow $15, whatever the price is, and you're having your voice being transcribed on their servers through their local learning models, like their language models, which is what LLMs are, like ChatGPT models, Claude models, Gemini models, Grok models, etc. You actually have to install these models yourself locally. And this might be 10, 12 gigs of space, which is really not that much these days. Most computers have a terabyte of hard drive space. Your machine probably has that. But if you have less, you have to be a bit more conservative on how you store these things. And besides that, you have to actually take more steps. Like when you pay for Wispr Flow, or I pay for it, I could just use it right away. I don't have to do much. I download it, I install it, I log into my account, and I set the keybind, and I'm good to go. With these, it's probably very similar, but you have to actually set up a bit more in their user settings to make it work. Like this one, Fluid Voice, free open source Mac, specifically, dictation app that transcribes speech locally, polishes output with an on-device AI model, and adapts tone to whatever app you're typing into. That's pretty cool. I mean, that's the basics of what Wispr Flow is. And they have a bunch of other ones here that you can use too. So you have a lot of different options. And I like that because if there was just one thing, then you would just kind of get stuck. Let's go back to the bottom here. Let's look at one more before I cut this video off. If I wanted to find Claude Code alternatives, what could I use technically instead of the Claude Code tool because I'm paying for it? Well, there's one right now that I'm downloading still. It's quite slow. It's called OpenCode. It's an open source AI coding agent that works in your terminal, IDE, or desktop app, supporting 75 plus LLM providers with no code storage. That's pretty cool. It supports 75 different language models, meaning you can use OpenAI, you can use Claude Code, you can use like all these different models. Of course, you have to still pay for them, right? Unless you're paying for API keys. But what you could do is use localized models like Kimi K3. I surprisingly have it open because I was just looking at their rate. It's $2.90 per 1 million tokens, which, I mean, for you watching this, that might not be a lot of usage. For some, it might be a ton. But $2.90 for 1 million tokens, it's really not that much. I remember I was looking at my Claude Code usage maybe a month or two ago, and I started using it at the end of February. So 3 months in, I had used only maybe around 15 million tokens, and that ranges between a lot of usage and very mild usage throughout the weeks and months. So 15 times, let's just say $3, that's $45. In 4 months, I've probably paid about 60 for this. So this is based on per use. And that's the cool thing, because if I'm paying $18 a month for a subscription and not using it, I'm the one who's losing, right? I'm not leveraging it. And the company itself is obviously winning because that's the way they're doing their business model and their subscriptions. So OpenCode is like that. There's a lot of other ones here too that you can use, but you have to review them. You have to look into them and understand them. Like if I go to this one called Klein, I go in here, it tells me everything about the GitHub repo for Klein, meaning I can go to their website and see this. I could also go to their GitHub repo, top right, and I can see that there's 65,500 people who have favorited this with the star feature. So it shows up on their list. And that's really insane to me, because if you go to other ones as well, like the OpenCode one, let's go to their repository here. That's a quicker shortcut. This has 193,000 stars, meaning there might be a ton of people currently using this tool instead of Claude Code. And these are people that are more on the development side, software engineering side, people who just don't want to pay these companies for tools, right? They want to save money. And if you're somebody who wants to save time with your AI tools, your subscriptions, I think this site, OpenAlternative, is brilliant for that. So just a light video. Take a look at this, explore it. Let me know if you have any questions below, or if you found anything interesting on here and have saved a lot of time. As a last thing I'll mention, they even have things like Discord alternatives. They have Spotify alternatives. They have other things like AI coding agents. They have project management suites. Like you can literally do so much with this by looking for other tools and saving so much money. I have a lot of peers who've been able to cancel a lot of their subscriptions, and it's something I've been focusing on too. So that's it for the video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Like, comment, subscribe, share, of course, and goodbye.